Hello and welcome to the premiere edition of Unwalled, a show where we break all the boundaries, the barriers, the walls, and we talk openly about things that matter or should matter to us as Christians and as the church. Unwalled is brought to you by Church Beyond Walls, Ekwa Wusetu, Abuja, Nigeria. On today's premiere edition, we have a very interesting topic and three very interesting and dynamic guests. It seems like in the church today, some sins seem to be placed on hierarchies. Some are more talked about than the others. Even among sexual sins, there seems to be some form of classification between sins like fornication and homosexuality and masturbation and pornography. So today we're going to be talking about why it appears like this is the situation in the church. As I said, we have three very dynamic guests, and they're going to be introducing themselves shortly. Can you please tell us your name?
My name is Nanli Nepli. I'm an architect by profession. Glad to be here.
My name is Ilya Emmanuel Baba. I'm a nurse by profession. I'm as well glad to be here.
My name is Kasha Mishaya. I'm a banker and also a fashion designer.
Thank you, our guest, for joining us. So, as I said, our topic today supposes that the church talks about certain sexual sins more than others. So before we start on this assumption, I just want to ask us, what do we think? Do we agree with the topic? Do we think this is actually the situation? And like they say, ladies first.
Well, I totally agree because from experience, I did not even know what pornography meant until I was in secondary school. So I agree with you totally.
I agree totally.
Okay. Nandi?
Yes, I agree. We don't hear many sermons about masturbation or pornography. No.
Yes. So since we're all on the same page, why do you think this is the case in the church? Do we think the church is shy, or what exactly is the situation or the reason behind this?
Yes, the church is shy because these are very touchy topics. How do you begin to talk about, masturbation or pornography? Which terms? How do you avoid, some pictures?
Being too graphic.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to feed people and help their imagination. So I think they're a bit shy. That could be one of the reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, at the same time, while the church is shy, the world is very, very intentional. Very intentional. Now, you get, even while you're browsing on your phone, you're on a site, maybe you just go there to study one or two things about your profession, or maybe something you just intend to learn, an ad will just pop up, and that's pornography. Like, it will link you to a site, and then from there it goes on. So while the church is quiet about certain issues, the world is being very aggressive.
Okay, that's a really good angle to it. Kasham, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think shy is the word for me. I think the church is just being ignorant because they underestimate the power of social media and what millennials are on about, because it's just ignorance, it's not shy. They still place now, this generation, they're still comparing it to their own generation. And we are really, really losing out. So I think it's more of ignorance than being shy.
Okay, thank you. And is it possible that the reason is that there are people in church that are also really struggling from this thing? So it's hard to talk about it. It's hard to address things that haven't really been dealt with by most of the people in church. Do we think that's also a reason behind it?
Yeah, funny enough, I was at a summit in Jos, and then Word of Life organized a summit in Jos, and then one of the guys who took a session, he said something. He said about 98% of guys, or men generally, are involved in masturbation, and the 2% are lying. So it means 100% of men are involved. So the truth is, there are a lot of people suffering from these issues. Even most clergymen are suffering from the same issue. And it's not something we should shy off from. It's something that the blood of Jesus has already taken care of. So you just have to be intentional about you taking your place as a child of God.
Okay, thank you. So our next question is, we've agreed that, the church doesn't really talk about sins like pornography and masturbation. Do we believe that there is an effect, a negative effect that it's having on the church, or do we think it's just fine? Kasham, let's hear you.
It has a negative effect. That's the truth. Because all these things are interwoven. It has a ripple effect. While we keep placing hierarchy on sins and we neglect, we think this sin, oh, we don't have to talk about this, not, it's not right to talk about it, it's yak. These children are learning it. I'm telling you, because whether we like it or not, like what Brother Ilya said, the society is intentional and the devil is not joking with anybody. So now that we have social media, we have billboards, we have pop-up ads, we have so many things. Like me, nobody told me. I can't remember any clergyman or any pastor or any reverend or even my mom or dad telling me about pornography or anything. But when I was in secondary school, I got people telling me, I've not seen blue film. I'm like, okay, what's blue film? So if we don't teach them, they will learn it the wrong way. And it will still affect us. That's why you see someone will grow up and become a pedophile. It's a mind thing. It messes up with people. And then when you grow up, you find out that it keeps deteriorating our church.
So you're saying that it's something that even if it starts as a child and it's not noticed, because most of these sins are sins that you engage in alone, usually in private, pornography and masturbation. So even if nobody notices at first, it has effects long after, you engage. Okay.
Can I add to that?
Yeah, sure.
You spoke about what effect does it have in the church. The thing is, since we don't talk about it, the devil is in the background feeding them these things and teaching them, and eventually the fornication continues, and we wonder why. We think, okay, we put this person under church discipline. What's going on? Aren't other people watching this? No. What is the cause? We're not dealing with it. We're not hitting it, at the root of the tree. So I think that's one of the serious effects. And like you said, the society is very intentional and rapidly intentional, faster than we think. We're just laid back and we think, okay, the time will come when I will teach them. No, they've already gotten these things that will continue to cause this sexual sin.
Yeah. At the same time, again, I think of the issue from the negative point of view. It limits you. It limits you as a child of God. Like, okay, how do I explain this now? From the point where most people don't talk about it, and we talk about grace and all, which is true and is sure and it's hopeful. But then, as a child of God, there's a place it keeps you until you deal with certain issues in life. To grow even in grace might be very difficult. And then secondly, again, it gets you to the point where you tend to be hypocritical. And at the same time, you don't know. Yeah.
Can I say something different? Just to add to what he's saying, is that it really makes you, because God is interested in the most trivial things of our life. Like we cannot even emphasize much on how interested God is. God is interested in how you wake up in the morning, what you wear, where you might think you just wake up in the morning, go to work, and it's just a normal waking up, going to work. God is so interested. And if you are engaging in all these secret things, you will be deviating from the ways of God gradually. And Romans 12:1-2 says that daily, don't be conformed by the things of this world, but with daily renewal. It's a gradual thing, and we really have to teach people. It has a ripple effect. We can't emphasize this enough. We cannot say fornication, homosexuality. People will not just wake up one day and start fornicating. It's a mind thing. So really, we should.
Yeah. Again, while she was speaking, something again came to mind. It isolates you. You find out that there's this brother that is no more available to fellowship with other brothers. Most times, the guilt from it isolates us.
So, and does this thing have age range? Because sometimes, Nale, I want you to answer this question.
Yes.
I found that even in our answers, it's not, sometimes we feel like things are just a certain generation. Even in our answers, we've seemed to limit it to a certain, age range. So, Nale, do you think this, just briefly, do you think pornography, masturbation, is there an age range?
There isn't. There isn't because okay, there are many sides to it. Like the devil doesn't let you rest, because of age. He's going to attack you if he has groomed in your mind, since you are young. Okay, like this thing, your body likes this feeling. When you grow older, it won't run away. He'll just keep hitting you from that angle. And another side to it is okay. These people are young. The devil attacks them in their imagination. Yes, but sometimes he comes to older people who think they're in control, who think they're in charge, and he brings these easily besetting things, and you wonder why some elders or some other people in church that you think this person shouldn't do this, they know better, but sometimes it's just a pride, it just deceives them like, okay, I'm no, I'm above this, but yet they still fall. So there's no injury. The devil will come at you however he wants to.
The Bible says, let he that thinks he stand take heed lest he fall. I was listening to a preacher that said Abraham was like 100 years old in drama, baby mama drama. Sins and drama and temptations of life do not care what age we are. And I think one other thing I've picked from what we've said so far is that, and Ilya touched on it, the fact that the church does not talk about these things, it makes it hard for people who are going through these things to speak up. And when the devil isolates you, it's easy to defeat you.
Yeah.
When you have a support system, it's harder to defeat you. Okay, thank you very much, everybody that has come. Our guests are here. And it's not, we won't just leave this hanging, by discussing what we think the issues are. We must say something. We must advocate something. So what is our word to the church in general on this topic?
Okay. I will still keep laying emphasis. We shouldn't shy away from it. It's no longer shyness. If we shy away from this thing, it's ignorance, really. Because they see it, they learn. And the reason why we keep laying emphasis with this younger generation or the younger ones is when you're an adult, it's easier because you've already learned. It's easier for you to just have a way through it, though you cannot be smarter and everything. But God's grace. But the young ones, they are still growing. And let's not forget that the environmental factors and what we tell people, these younger generations, what we teach them is what makes them. So if we're able to tackle this, imagine, I still I use myself as an example. Imagine if I had, when I went to school and they were saying, have you seen Blue Film? I'm like, yeah, that's not right. You're not meant to do that. I was taught even when I was a child and everything. But I was curious, what's Blue Film? What's Blue Film? Like, I wanted to know what Blue Film was because nobody ever told me anything about Blue Film. So that was when I was in secondary school. Now children know more than what we can even imagine. So please, let's teach people. Let's teach them.
Let's talk about it. Okay, Ilya, briefly what?
I was just thinking, if we're sons of God, then we're for Christ, we should be able to live just like he did. It's actually a scripture I've been thinking, but I can't bring out the scripture now. But it just, to paraphrase the scripture, it says, if you claim to be of God, like you say, then live like Jesus did. So it means you don't shy away from sinners. These things are real issues. The church would have to be intentional in embracing them. The church must be more loving than being judgmental. I'm not saying the sin is okay. No, but that part of you that is telling you, no, you can't welcome this man.
Hate the sin, love the sinner.
Yes. You hate what the person is doing, clearly, but then you try to reach out to the person. Yeah. Then secondly, the church in itself have to be more loving. I talked about being loving. I talked about being more relational. In us, like
accommodating.
Yes. During the Acts, the church in the book of Acts, These guys considered nothing of their own theirs. They were open. Their houses were open. You could actually just come to me and say, brother, I need this. I need your help on this. These social issues disturb is bothering me. I need help. So when you get to relate with person, even talking about the little things he needs and granting help or support, it gets to a point where the person develops that friendship with you and is able to, at a point in time, confide one or two things.
Thank you. So we should be relational, more relational in the church. Nanle.
I think I'll just emphasize basically on being intentional. I think we should stop being judgmental because it is. I think one of the reasons why it's not discussed many times is maybe the older generation is just getting angry. Why these people, this pornography thing is your generation, I think that, and they're not attacking the issue. They're just judging from afar and they're not noticing that, this is really eating up society. So I think that judgmental side, we need to be aware that, look, this is what we're doing and it's not helping. We should be aware of that. And like we said, we need to be intentional, but I think we need to do it fast. Really, we need to do it fast because 4-year-old children are asking us questions. We didn't know how to pronounce these words. we didn't know the meaning, but they're asking very deep questions. A child will come and ask you, mommy, what's the meaning of ejaculation? My tongue was not loose like that. So
I didn't even know what that word was.
Really. So I think we need to be fast. Really, we need to start early. Let's be accommodating. Let's put the judgment aside. Let's try and understand the sin. Let's not be condemning. Let's try and just know that, okay, look, all sins are just a reflection of the main thing, which is by denying God. Don't just focus on fornication. Don't just focus on, masturbation or pornography. Let's just try and be open with them. Yeah, be real with these people because don't fake it. Don't fake it. These younger generation, they know. They're online. They know. So I think that's one.
All right. Thank you, our guests. Thank you so much for being here with us. All right, guys, we've heard everything that has been said. The truth is, while the church is being quiet and sweeping things under the carpet, the world is being rapidly intentional about it. It's time for us to stop being reactive about issues and be proactive. Let's take up the holistic gospel which seeks to heal men from the fall of man by the love of God through Jesus Christ, his life, his death, and his resurrection. And as we talk about these things, we will see that the freedom that God came to give to us, we will indeed live and walk with it. So we come your way in the next edition of Unwalled. Thank you for watching and God bless.